Harvey's Brewery, Prince of Denmark.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. It is fucking roasting out there. So what am I going to drink to cool me down? Why, an Imperial Stout. Yeah, not the ideal beer for cooling you down on a warm day like this, but this is one that intrigues me and I want to try it because I'm an impatient little git. Harvey's Brewery. Quick word about them. They've been going years. 1790 they were found. They're Sussex's oldest independent brewery. And they've brewed quite a wide range of beers and they do some fantastic ales. So much so that a lot of I know Fuller's do it and Green King do it, they stock their beers. Now that's really unusual because usually when you go to a Green King pub, and especially a Fuller's pub, you will only find ale-wise, lagers, you'll get any old shit thrown in there. But ale-wise, it's normally their own. Like, so if you went to a Green King pub, normally you get the Green King IPA and a couple of their others. You know, if you're lucky, you may get Old Speckled Hen on draft or something like that. And Fuller's, of course, you know, it's just Fuller's beer. But if you go to certain Fuller's pubs, and I've seen it, I think the Parcel Yard does it in King's Cross, they sell Harvey's beers. And there's other pubs that sell their beers as well. So they must be doing something right if that's how good it is. And Green King got the ump. I've said this in another review, but I'll say it again. Green King got the ump and they tried to take it away. But the locals in the pub, and the ironic thing was, the pub that they tried to do it in was a pub that was half a mile away from the Green King, from the Harvey's Brewery, sorry. And they tried to take that away, and the locals put up some resistance and said, right, we're boycotting the pub. And they stood outside there for 133 days, telling people, you know, not to go in there. The landlord was behind them as well, because their beer is better than Green King. Now, that's not a particularly hard thing to do, but Green King, in their wisdom, thought they'd get rid of the better beer and just push their own beer. And it's the fucking PR disaster. Anyway, it all got resolved. Their head of licensed premises got fucked off, they got someone else, and now Harvey's beer is back, and rightly so. That is a snide tactic, not very nice indeed, but that is by the by. What am I looking for? I'm looking for an easy life. No, I'm not. Oh, there it is, it's right in front of me. Jesus Christ, I need some new glasses. Oh, by the way, Harvey's Brewery, it survived 2 fires and a flood. And the last 2 fires, one was in 1996 and 2000, it did 4 million quid's worth of damage, and they're still brewing now. That is some feat. And they brew a beer called Bonfire Boy, which is a tribute to the fire brigades that put out the 2 fires, which I think is brilliant. Anyway, enough about Harvey's Brewery. Let's try and taste some beer. Right, this is the Prince of Denmark. Of course, Prince of Denmark is named after a character in Hamlet. If you're into Shakespeare, I'm not. I think it's fucking boring. But, you know, if you're into that sort of thing. What does it say on the side? It is a 275ml bottle. And it's 7.5%. Now, this has been classed as an Imperial Stout, but the Harvey's Brewery, they call it Imperial Stout Nouveau. I don't know why they've called it that or classified it as that, but it's won a lot of awards, I'll tell you that. It has won, I think it's over 9 awards in the strong porter variety, or the strong porter category, sorry. On the side of the glass, side of the bottle, what is wrong with me today? I've not even had a beer yet. It is winner of countless local and international awards. Yeah, it is. I mean, they're 9 are just the major awards that they've won. It's won loads of others. This Supreme Champion is as complex as Shakespeare's anonymous hero. Hints of coffee and dark chocolate break through the sweet spicy flavours that suppress the bitterness of this highly hopped beer. It can be found on draft at select beer festivals. We won't be druv. That's their motto. I think that means they won't be driven. And they're independent as well, which is always good. They do what they want to do. Let's get this beer open. The cap is just a plain silver cap. Nothing to see here. No autofocus nightmares today. On the nose. Oh yeah, that's nice. That has got a ton of caramel and toffee malt. Licorice too. Wow, haven't smelt that in a while on a beer. That is nice. And it's got some fruit on it, but the licorice, that is a surprise. I'll tell you, the last time I got some licorice was when I reviewed the Cranbourne Poacher. Wow. Okay, well, let's get it into the glass. Wow, look at that. Crude oil. Only 275 ml. That is a brown head. Look at the brown head on that. One finger head. Out of the glass. Oh, lovely. Sweet malt. Sweet caramel and toffee. And that licorice is there again. But there's also a touch of orangey zest that I'm getting. Lovely, really nice. There's some coffee on that as well. Dark chocolate and coffee, as they say. Is it? Yeah, dark chocolate. I am getting that now. Let's get it down the hatch. Cheers. God. Fuck. That is bitter. That is more bitter than a Spurs fan who's just lost an FA Cup to West Ham. The finish on it is like I've just downed a Turkish coffee or an espresso. It is that bitter and intense. There is that licorice flavour to it. But there's an intense coffee and chocolate finish on this that just, it gets more bitter as it lingers and it sort of sticks to the side of your mouth. The head is dissipated now, as I would expect from a 7.5% Imperial Stout. Well, is it an Imperial Stout? They're calling it a strong ale. That is like an espresso with some licorice put inside it. It does smell good. Get some fruit on that now. Like black cherry, plum, and damson. But this is all about that bitter coffee at the end. There is a touch of dark chocolate, but it's, yeah, that is coffee. Unmistakable. But it's quite nice. But this is intense. I can see why they've put it in a 275ml bottle. You could, I don't think, well, you'd be, by the end of it, I think your face would be contorted drinking a pint of this. I think it's, you know, especially at 7.5% as well. But this is bitter in a nice way. It's coffee bitterness. Now, I'm not a massive fan of coffee, I have to say. But if you are a fan of coffee and you like your coffee strong, you like black coffee, espresso, you know, that type, then you are going to love this because it has got such an intense finish. But in the mouth, You're getting all the licorice, the fruit, the dark fruit like the black cherry, the damson and the plum. And of course you're getting the warming feeling. Now on a day like this, the last thing I need is a winter warmer. But I can imagine sitting by the fire with just a little bottle of that, slightly chilled. That's been sitting here for a while, but slightly chilled. Sipping that with some, like, this would go with like dark chocolate or a Christmas cake, that sort of thing. Really nice. It's almost port-like quality to it. It's really good. I do like that. I'm getting spirit alcohol notes on there, but you don't really get that in the mouth, which is nice. God, and they are strong now. If I try not to throw it over myself. God, yeah. I'll tell you something, you cannot say this has not got character. That is full of character. To be treated with a bit of respect and savoured. So what's the verdict on this? This is not to be taken lightly. You can look at it and think, oh, it's just any old porter, but it's not. You need to prepare yourself for what this is. This is intensely bitter on the finish, but it has got lovely fruity notes and licorice in the mouth. The mouthfeel is superb. It's super smooth, and it's warming too with that alcohol. But I think you need to like coffee and dark chocolate to like this. I'm not really a fan of coffee and dark chocolate, but I can see its appeal. It is nice. Sorry, I am a fan of dark chocolate, not so much a fan of coffee. I love dark chocolate, it's my favourite. Oh, it's really nice. And again, now I'm getting the toffee malt and the caramel malt coming through. Really complex. This needs to be savoured and not guzzled like I'm doing it now, because I imagine you get different flavours with every mouthful. That is lovely. That is a really good Imperial Stout. I am going to give that a 9 out of 10. The reason I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10 is I'm just not a massive fan of coffee, and that finish on it really is espresso, intense espresso, or even Turkish coffee. It's that strong and bitter. But everything else about it is absolutely lovely, and it's great. And I wouldn't have expected anything else from Harveys. They're a good British brewer, independent too. So yeah, 9 out of 10, recommended. And remember, beer is working class champagne.